Here's what happens. We all come into this world exactly the same. Naked, scared, and ignorant, right? I mean, some of us a little uglier than others, but basically all the same. Naked, scared, and ignorant. And then after that grand entrance, your life is controlled by one factor. There's only one thing that will determine whether at the end of a life you end up living here or whether you end up living here. There's only one thing that determines whether you end up driving this or whether you end up driving this. One controlling factor determines whether at the end of a long life you end up lonely, despondent, and broke, or you end up in a marriage of 50 plus years of incredible intimacy and great bliss. Only one thing will determine whether you get to send your children to the greatest universities in the world, or no matter what it is that they qualified for, they can't go because you can't afford it. Only one thing will determine whether you get to donate to your charity to your greatest heart's content, whether you get to travel the world in fantastic luxury. Did you all see the movie City Slickers? Curly said, it all comes down to one thing. Your whole life comes down to one thing. What's the one thing? Circle of champion answer right up front. It all comes down to choices. Right now, as you sit there in your chair, right now, your whole life is nothing but the accumulated compound effect of the choices you've made up to this moment. Right now, your waistline is nothing but the accumulated compound effect of the choices you've made up to this moment. The size of your business, your bank account, the intimacy of the relationships in your life are all just an outcome of the compounded choices you've made up to this point. So if we're going to change the trajectory of your life starting today, starting right now, we've got to go to where the control factor of it all begins, and it all begins with choices. Choices is the first line of code in rewiring your operating system.